For the arrival of Star Wars The Last Jedi, I figured I'd talk about the changes made to The Empire Strikes Back. What's fun to note is, this is probably the least changed movie out of the entire original trilogy. Before proceeding, I figure it'd be a fair warning to mention that there will be a few spoilers in this, but to be honest, if you haven't seen this movie, you're really missing out. Many people consider this to be the best in the franchise. I'm rambling, aren't I? Let's get started. Our first change comes from when Luke wakes up in the Wampa cave. In this version, you will notice that the Wampa isn't seen here as much. In later releases, you'll be seeing the Wampa chowing down on what I would assume would be Luke's tauntaun that got mauled when he got dragged in here. Also notice that when the Wampa's arm comes off, we never see it again for the rest of the movie. In the special edition, you kind of see it wallowing in pain afterwards. Our next change is a subtle line change. After Han rescues Luke, you may find he says something a little different here.
This may smell bad, kid. Yoda. But it'll keep you warm until I can get the shelter built.
Minus some better picture quality, there aren't any changes to the assault on Hoth itself. However, our next change comes from after the battle. You will notice, when you see R2-D2 in space, you will see that he is black and gray instead of blue and gray. This is a technical glitch. This was filmed using a blue screen instead of green screen. As such, the blue on R2 has been taken away in order to reveal black space. This next change is more speculation rather than fact. It's been rumored that when Han attempts to go through this asteroid belt, one of the asteroids is a potato and the other one is a shoe. This is the part I've been told to look, but they all look like potatoes to me. Now, I've already covered the Emperor in my Return of the Jedi video, but I figured I'd make a little point of it here to just show how vastly different he was in the original version.
What is thy bidding, my master?
There is a great disturbance in the Force.
I have felt it.
We have a new enemy, Luke Skywalker.
Yes, my master.
He could destroy us.
He's just a boy. Obi-Wan can no longer help him.
The Force is strong with him. The son of Skywalker must not become a Jedi.
If he could be turned, he would become a powerful ally.
Yes. Yes. He would be a great asset. Can it be done?
He will join us or die, master.
While Han is dealing with that, we find Luke with his own problems. After crash landing on Dagobah, R2 is eaten. When Luke finds him, you notice that he might say something a little different here.
Are you alright? Come on. You're lucky you don't taste very good.
This next change is something that was only brought to my attention quite recently. When Luke fights the fake Darth Vader, in this version, his lightsaber is slightly more orange, and his breathing is slowed down substantially, kind of as a cue to the audience that this isn't the real guy. Watch closely. After that little drug trip, we find ourselves in Cloud City. This is probably one of the few changes I can get behind. In the special edition, you can see a lot more of the city. Here, you only get very small glimpses. Following that, we see Boba Fett. You may notice that he has a different voice in this one. To be honest, I think the original voice is far more menacing. However, I'll leave you to decide that one.
No disintegrations.
As you wish.
You may take Captain Solo to Jabba the Hutt after I have Skywalker.
He's no good to me dead. What if he doesn't survive? He's worth a lot to me.
The Empire will compensate you if he dies. Put him in.
Put Captain Solo in the cargo hold.
After fighting away the Empire, Lando is able to get out a message to the whole city. Or at least, that's what we assume. In this version, you only really see him give the message.
This is Lando. The Empire has taken control of the city. I advise everyone to leave before more Imperial troops arrive.
Well, at least we can tell the message reached someone. Our next change is a little bit of a misnomer. After Darth Vader reveals he is Luke's father, Luke jumps as a way to get away from him. In only a handful of special editions, you can hear Luke screaming all the way down. Watch closely.
It is the only way.
The final change is when Lando rescues Luke. In later editions, he has to go through more hatches to get to him. Watch closely. Well, that's all the changes I have. Before ending this video, I figured I would show some of the most memorable parts of this movie. Let's begin.
Your tauntaun will freeze before you reach the first marker. Then I'll see you in hell.
Wait a second, how come before Han mounts his tauntaun there's blood all over the wall? I don't know.
I thought they smelled bad. On the outside.
Commander Skywalker, do you copy? This is Rogue 2. This is Rogue 2. Captain Solo, do you copy?
I do wonder, is he part of Rogue 2 in honor of Rogue 1? Nah, it's probably because he's number 2 in the Rogue Squadron, which could have been named after Rogue 1. I don't know.
Echo Station 5-7, we're on our way. That armor's too strong for blasters.
Sure it is.
That got him.
Listen, friend, we didn't mean to land in that puddle, and if we could get our ship out, we would, but we can't, so why don't you just...
get your ship out.
Hey, get out of there!
No!
Hey, you could have broken this. Don't do that. Oh, you're making a mess. Hey, that.
Mine, or I will help you not.
R2, let him have it. R2! Now, will you move along, little fella? We got a lot of work to do.
I don't believe it. That is why you fail.
Well, I figure this would be the best place to end it. I wonder how The Last Jedi will compare. Well, until then, keep having fun.